Okay.
Hey Bob, just wanted to shoot a quick video about the ice jacket to show you how functional it is. I think it's pretty cool. It comes in a couple of pieces, so you basically would just take your bottle and put it on the base, and then this covers it. You close all of the clasps, and you flip it upside down. Oops, sorry. And there's a little plug on the bottom that you use to fill it with water. Now it's important that you use purified water of some sort. I poured it through a funnel because it's a lot easier than having to accurately pour through that little hole. But that's how you fill it. If you have to, in order to get a clear ice cube on the back end, the water needs to be purified though, so that's kind of important. To stuff it, you can see there's not much room inside of here, but you could put fruit peels. I'll show you. I used a rose. I thought that worked pretty well. One thing about the fruit peels is that fruit either floats or sinks, so when it freezes on the back end, unless it's wedged in between the small spaces inside, it's gonna either all end up at the top or at the bottom. But you can see I put it in the freezer overnight, and this is the one that I did. So it says to let it stand for 30 minutes before you take the top off. I actually let it stand for about that long, and then I had to run it under some hot water before it removed. But you can see what I did with the rose. I used the stem, for me, is what held everything in place inside, so the petals didn't float or sink. I got them to stick in the center, and you can kind of see how it looks. The base of it is actually frozen on, so when you present it, this will be part of the presentation, and you can see how much water is melting off of it. So you probably should use the tray as well to trap all that water, otherwise it's going to make a mess and go everywhere. One thing I noticed is that the liter bottles, not all of them will fit. So I have a liter of Casadores here, so it's the right bottle shape, but when you put the lid on, you can see it doesn't go down far enough to close the clasp. So depending on what brand you're putting inside of there, bottle size will play a factor. I'm not sure if you get eSource liters or 750s. Goose, skinny bottles will work. Goose has a long neck on it, so that closes, but again, the liter size bottle of it, I'm not quite sure, it may be too tall. But you just have to play with that on a bottle by bottle basis. There are things like these little plugs, these little plastic pieces that are potentially losable, so your bartenders will have to make sure they keep their eye on those. As well as I noticed these clasps come off fairly easily. Well, that's not a good example, but I've seen them just laying around, so I don't know how they're coming off, but that's another thing you would have to watch. And that's it. That's the functionality of the ice jacket.